Morning everyone. It is just after 6 a.m. Got about 2 hours sleep last night. It was extremely windy, plus I was basically doing stuff in the tent until 1 a.m. Trying to get caught up on videos, moving files around on the phone and the drives and things like that. There's quite a bit to do in town this time, so I was trying to basically save myself a little bit of time in town. As it happens, it didn't make much difference because I didn't get much sleep anyway. I've been sleeping with the tent doors open, the outer doors open, for as long as I can remember now. And I actually had to close them up last night. It was a little bit of a novelty because the wind was like crazy strong. Anyway, I've had a couple of biscuits, and it's now time for an extremely strong cup of coffee. I've got about 21 miles to do today, just under, to get to Echo Lake. I think I might get off just before Echo Lake at Highway 50. It's not very far before at all, but I think there's just better hitching opportunity there to get into town. So yeah, that's the plan. Get packed up and get moving. So I think I got the time wrong earlier. I may have said it was 6 o'clock. It's not. It wasn't then. It was about 5 o'clock. Maybe I need one of those little clocks that you get to teach kids the time. That's quite nice with the sun coming up over the lake there. I think the trail heads off in the opposite direction this morning, so I'll start making my way back over there. I've got a really nasty stabbing pain on the underside of my left foot, like in the arch. It's completely new. No inkling of that whatsoever yesterday, so I hope it's just a twinge and it goes pretty quickly, because it's actually quite painful. Got a beautiful view looking down into this big wide open valley. Well, we've got quite the panorama from here. I'm not quite at the top of the climb. Looks like I'm heading for that patch of snow. I can see a boot track going through it. Looks like it might be the top-ish. Kind of looking all the way around into the end of the valley. One thing I'm enjoying about this section, apart from the views, the climbs, even though they make me out of breath, they're nowhere near as steep as the last section, and most of them aren't stepped either. There was tons and tons of steps on the climbs on the last section, and I found that it was just really tiring me out a lot quicker. Lifting your feet up a lot higher, kind of putting more effort in with the trekking poles to push yourself off as well. So I said I had about 21 miles to do to get to the place where I need to hitch into town. I should be able to do it today. I think I'm pretty certain I will be able to. I'm just not too sure what kind of time I'm going to arrive. It's certainly by no means, it's not like an easy 21 miles either. There's there's quite a lot of elevation change involved in it. I'd be interested to see what the next few sections are like, if they're any different, or if it just continues with the same sort of average gain and loss. Maybe I'll have to wait until Oregon to get a little bit more flat. And I know everyone says that Oregon's easy and Oregon's flat, but from memory, there's some pretty tough climbs in there, peppered around. So it's not as if you get to Oregon and you can just be like, oh, thank goodness, it's all easy. Nah. I am looking forward to getting to Ashland though. Ashland's pretty much on the state line, just over the state line. So when you finally cross from California into Oregon, Ashland is like almost straight there to hitch into. And I really enjoyed Ashland last time I was there. It's a nice town. And Bend as well. You've got a choice when you get off the trail in that area. From what I can remember, you can either go to Sisters, which is a smallish town, or you can go a bit further and go to Bend, which is a bigger town with a bit more about it. Just depends. And I went to Bend last time and it was really enjoyable actually. Nice place. I do like Oregon. I'm looking forward to getting back there. Have a look behind us. It's got warm already, but the breeze is keeping me a bit cooler. Well, I've just come up a big climb over a few patches of snow, and then I seem to be dropping down to Carson Pass, I think it is. It's just about 8 a.m. Probably time for something to eat, I think. Should have a bar of some description tucked away in a pocket somewhere. Well, that was a real nice little surprise. Came down to Carson Pass and there's like a couple of big parking lots. And there's like a little visitor centre. And the staff there are all volunteers. And they've got like a cooler there for PCT hikers. And you can take 1 soda and 2 snacks per hiker. So there was even some like skewers of fresh fruit, like grapes and melon and stuff on. It was really, really nice. Really nice folks as well. Free Wi-Fi, filled your water bottles up for you. Nice little shop, mainly like touristy stuff, t-shirts, postcards, stickers, patches, things like that. There was only like a few bags of Skittles, bottles of water, so you couldn't resupply from there or anything. But yeah, it was a real nice little stop, and I wasn't expecting it. Quite a few hikers came out into the parking lot and were like, "Oh." The thing was, the staff were shouting you over as well. They were, "Hey, PCT hiker, trail magic over here." So you know you couldn't miss it. It was funny because I was saying that I had no energy at all today, and I don't. My legs just feel completely dead. And like there was 3 other hikers there, and they all said exactly the same thing. They're all just got no energy whatsoever, which is unfortunate because now it looks like we're climbing out of Carson Pass. So, never mind. About 14 miles to go, I believe. Something like that. It's just after 9 a.m. So it's quite funny. Just back at the little visitor centre back there, I was chatting to a couple of other hikers. One of them was a guy from Amsterdam. Saw him on trail yesterday as well, and he was like, "Oh, do you have a Instagram channel and a YouTube channel?" I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Oh, is it Paul and a Pack?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's it." He's like, "Oh yeah, I watched a few of your videos and things and saw a few of your posts." I was like, "All right, nice." Apparently they helped him, which is one of my main aims. But I was saying to him and saying to one of the volunteers that work there, so it's quite funny because most people's videos are like 15 minutes long, and I said mine are getting on for like an hour now. And I loved how direct some of the Europeans were. He sort of like chuckled and he was like, "Yeah, I know, man. I usually play them back on 2 times speed." It's like, just get on with it, man. So maybe I should stop prattling on so much. So the Dutch guy was called Bart. I've just passed him now. He's stopped to do something, I don't know what. But just looks as though I'm getting my first glimpse of Lake Tahoe. And boy, is that place, or the lake itself, is huge. It's massive. Interestingly enough, I did have this thought in the tent last night. Well, it's interesting to me anyway. California is pretty expensive. I didn't realise when I got here, but compared to a lot of other states, California is an expensive one. Just for services, gas, hotels, food, drink, everything. And I was going to go to the dentist in Lake Tahoe, and I just realised that it's very close to the border with Nevada, and there's a town just over the state line called Carson City. And I asked one of the volunteers back at the visitor centre, I said, if I was going to go to the dentist, would I save a bit of money if I went to Carson City instead of Lake Tahoe? And she said, yes, definitely 100%. She said, everything is more expensive in Lake Tahoe. So I kind of got that when I was looking at hotels last night, because at one point I was contemplating just getting a bus from Tahoe to Carson City and staying there. But I think that might be something worth looking at. Maybe give a couple of dentists a call in Carson City, and the bus, I think the bus is like an hour or something like that, maybe a little bit more from Lake Tahoe. Might be a nice little day out. Go to the dentist for a day. But I mean, if I'm going to save a bit of money, it's probably worth a couple of phone calls, I think, before I take the bus out there. But yeah, not a bad idea, Paul. It's coming on to 10 a.m. and I've got about 11 miles left to go. Most of the last hour or so, well, most of it has been pretty flat across these meadows. It's really pretty. Greenery everywhere, nice amounts of colour. Every now and then you'll cross a little stream. This area, there's a couple of, I didn't even see them, a couple of barns over there. Maybe not barns, I don't know. But this area is also the Tahoe Rim Trail, or TRT. And I think I'm right in saying that this is another area where you need to carry a hard-sided bear canister. And I think that applies for like a little way past Tahoe as well. I think there's a good section of it that you need to carry a canister for. So I've just been thinking about what I'm going to have to drink when I get to town. I think being 10 miles out, I'm allowed to do that. And it just reminded me something that I'd completely forgotten about and I wanted to show you. I'm going to try and find the photo I took of it and put it up on the screen. But whilst I was in Walker, we walked down to the gas station one day and they had something in there that I've never ever seen before in my life. It was a little glass bottle of orange flavoured milk. Has anybody else ever heard of that or seen it? I actually bought one, and I bought a banana one as well. Amelia seemed to think that was disgusting, but in the UK, like banana milk and banana milkshake is a massive thing. It's like one of the more common flavours. But I have never come across orange flavoured milk before, and let me tell you, it was actually really, really nice. I don't think I could have drunk much more of it than what was in the bottle. It was the perfect size, but yeah, what a strange thing. There was also a couple of other flavours from the same company. I think there was a chocolate one, and I think it's something like horchata or horchata, Horchata. No idea what that is. But yeah, if anyone's seen that before or sampled it, please do let me know and let me know what you thought of it. Welcome to Showers Lake, mile 1083. Really picturesque. I can see now why the Tahoe Rim Trail is a popular one. I'm not sure of its length, but it's one of the shorter through hikes. Maybe a couple of 100 miles, I think. I'm probably wrong at that, but it's really, really peaceful, and there's some beautiful scenery that you walk through as well. So that nice flat valley that I walked across probably had about 4 miles, I would guess, of really beautiful, flat, easy walking. Easy on the eye as well. And then you had a nice climb out that I've just done, and it brings you out here at Showers Lake. So I'm slowly eating away at the elevation gain. I think last time I looked at the app it was about 1700 feet, I think, elevation gain, and it was something like double that in loss. Well, we're kind of climbing a little bit again now. Just from that little lake that we passed, we kind of dropped down from that a little bit into the bottom of a tiny little canyon, came back out again, come up onto this kind of plateau area, and it looks like we're climbing out of this at the end here as well. Making progress. I've been walking through this forest for quite a while now. It's extremely peaceful. I've only seen 2 other hikers. They weren't PCTers either, they were going the opposite direction. I'm about mile 1087, which means I've got roughly 5 miles still to go. And it's about, well, it's just coming up to 12 noon. The lack of sleep last night is certainly catching up with me. I just feel really lethargic, got no energy at all. If it was a normal day and I wasn't going to town, I'd definitely be stopping somewhere, taking the pack off and probably having some food. I might even make myself a coffee, but I just want to get the 5 miles done. If I can. I may have to stop, I don't know. But at the moment, I just want to keep going and try and push through it. I think I've got maybe a couple of little climbs to do, but most of it from here on is down. About 1,800 feet down, about 450 feet up, something like that. It is a really, really pretty forest. I'm actually surprised I've not seen more people. I know it's like the middle of the day on a Tuesday, but I thought I would have seen more hikers than I have. Well, it is now 12:30 and the forest hike turned into a pretty mean uphill. Just came out of nowhere and it was dirty steep to start with, and then it kind of got a little bit better the further up you went, and now I've just been dropping down and down and down the side of this canyon. You can see the other side of it, how rocky it is. Just dropping down the side of this at quite a pace actually. It's been quite nice. I've not heard from my friend Mark back home for quite a while, and just been exchanging a few voice notes with him, and seeing as I've got signal, and catching him up on what's been going on and finding out what he's been up to. And I think any of my regular viewers will know that he's got a YouTube channel himself. Used to be called Trick of the Trail, but he's now changed it. I think it's just Mark on Trail now. I feel bad because I've not looked at any of his videos for quite a while, and I know he had a nice trip on the West Island Way with his partner. I might get a chance to sit and watch that in town, maybe. Give me a little reminder of home. But yeah, go and check his channel out on YouTube, Mark on Trail, and see what he's been up to. I can tell you exactly what he's been up to. He's been up to going up onto Kinder Scout and basically getting cold and wet, probably. He does like the Peak District. I'm not a huge fan, but it's quite a cool place to meet him because it's kind of halfway between both of us. So nice to catch up with him in person. Looking forward to seeing him when I get back as well. Well, surely it feels like I can't be far away now. Maybe I'd hope about 3 miles, but I think I've said before that when you're going into a town, the last few miles always seem to drag, and I'm definitely slowing down as well. So tired. I've got one cliff bar that's easily accessible. The rest are all inside my bear can, inside my bag, and I've been I've been putting off taking my bag off for about the last 2 hours. I just want to get down and done at this point. So I think maybe another 5 or 10 minutes and then that cliff bar will come out of my fanny pack, get eaten very quickly. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me to the hitching point. Well, it's pretty much bang on 1 p.m. I can hear the rumble of engines. I can see a parking lot to my right. Might even be a helicopter I can hear actually taking off. Got, I'm going to assume, ski lift cables running in front of me. It all points to one thing. I've only got about a mile until Highway 50. That's where I get off to hitch to civilization, somewhere I can lay horizontally in a darkened room and probably cry. No, I'm only joking. I just passed my first 3 equestrians on trail. Nearly 1,200 miles hiked. And that's the first 3 horses I've seen on trail. 3 ladies. They weren't PCTing, but it's cool to see though. Really cool to see. They're really nice as well. I remember all the ones that I came across in 2019 were all real nice. Really courteous and kind of waving you through. You kind of got to make sure that you don't sort of like hide behind a bush and scare the horses. You kind of got to either wait in plain view and make yourself heard, start talking to them, or wait for them to give you instructions as to what to do. They were very good. I was waiting to come across. It was actually a little footbridge over a river, a little wooden footbridge, and I was going to wait and let them across, and the lead rider shouted they weren't sure how long it was going to take them to get across. So they waved me over. Civilization at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Empty parking lot. That one's still closed down there. I'm going to guess it's the ski area parking lot. Looks like quite a big service building down there, like probably a cafe restaurant thing. Similar to when we came off the trail at Mammoth. If you remember at Horseshoe Lake, it looked like a bomb had gone off and there was just all these kind of dead trees. Quite apocalyptic looking. Try and say that when you're drunk. Apocalyptic. Oh, my legs are giving up completely. That's 2 stumbles within 10 seconds. This is going to be it for a while, guys. I've stopped filming anything when I'm in towns. Basically, it is just so I can have a rest, and it's like one less thing to think about and do. And it's generally just me doing not very exciting stuff. I don't get up to anything exciting while I'm in a town. Editing videos, watching TV, doing laundry, doing resupply, and apart from that, just basically stuffing my face. So I think what I'm going to do, I've got quite a few videos lined up waiting to be uploaded. I think I'll probably upload them in the next couple of days when I'm in town and schedule them as normal. And then there'll be another little gap when they run out, as I work my way up to wherever I'm going to be stopping next, which at the moment I don't know where that's going to be. I do apologise for all the gaps. I really appreciate you guys bearing with me. I know that some people will stop watching, but it's just the way that things have fallen, and the mercy of Wi-Fi that I've been at. Hopefully going forward from here, I might get back into a bit more of a routine with the videos. I'd like to be able to do that so you guys aren't constantly guessing and waiting. I know Travis, one viewer, he said he'd been like rationing himself on the videos to account for the gaps, which I thought was hilarious. I'm going to have to get a few photographs of these things. So I'm probably going to sign off now, guys. There might be a little bit of footage to follow this, there might not be. But take care of yourselves, and I shall see you whenever.